Hi, I'm Benji Hardy. I've got your Arkansas news headlines for today, Wednesday, June 24th. We're here today in Arkansas' second largest city because yesterday the Fort Smith School Board voted to do away with the longstanding Confederate-linked imagery at Southside High School. Last night the board voted 6-0 to phase out the rebel mascot at Southside in the 2016-17 school year in light of, quote, the continuing impact of perceived symbols of racism on the community, state, and nation. The board also decided in the same vote that the song Dixie will no longer be the high school's fight song beginning in the coming 2015-16 school year. Now, a lot of people look at the rebel mascot and think, what's the big deal? It's just a matter of tradition. But think about what those symbols mean to Southside students who happen to be African American, and suddenly it doesn't seem quite as harmless, considering especially the school district is 11% black and over 50% non-white. The Southside principal said that he opposes the change and that he was blindsided by the school board's adoption of the issue. The school's mascot, he told a local news station, has nothing to do with discrimination for most people. Now, this issue isn't resolved yet. The school board will have a regularly scheduled meeting on July 27th at which it will presumably take a final vote on the issue. It's not just Fort Smith either. The issue of the Confederate flag is spreading across the South. In Alabama, Governor Robert Bentley, who's a Republican, ordered the immediate removal of 4 flags at a Confederate monument at his state capitol grounds in Montgomery. In Mississippi, state lawmakers, including Republicans, have said that their state flag should be replaced, which displays a Confederate battle symbol in one corner. There are debates over discontinuing license plates issued by states which bear Confederate symbols in Virginia, Maryland, and North Carolina. Next door in Tennessee, Democrats and Republicans both have said that a bust of Confederate General Nathan Bedford Forrest, who's also a leader of the Ku Klux Klan, should be removed from the state capitol. And perhaps one of the most remarkable quotes to come out of this so far, back in South Carolina where it all began, a state senator by the name of Paul Thurmond, who's the son of segregationist U.S. Senator Strom Thurmond, declared that it's time to remove the flag from the capitol grounds of his state. He said, quote, "It is time to acknowledge our past, atone for our sins, and work for a better future. Our ancestors were literally fighting to keep human beings as slaves and to continue the unimaginable acts that occur when someone is held against their will. I am not proud of this heritage." Pretty remarkable. It's a watershed moment in the nation's reckoning with the racist parts of its history. And it's not over yet, so expect lots more debates in the coming week, including here in Arkansas, where our own state flag certainly has its own roots in some Confederate symbolism. Moving on, at a Rotary Club meeting yesterday, Governor Asa Hutchinson said that he's willing to continue other standardized tests aside from the ACT Aspire for the coming academic school year in Arkansas Public Schools. Now, that statement comes after the governor has sparred with the State Board of Education about whether to switch to the Aspire or stick with the current test, the PARCC. The State Board, which ultimately is the entity responsible for signing any contract with a new testing provider, has said that earlier this month that it's concerned that the government's recommendation to sign on with the ACT Aspire is a bit too hasty. Yesterday, Hutchinson said he acknowledged that board members do have, quote, a legitimate point that we need to have perhaps an open bidding process on that. The hopeful sign that this issue might yet be resolved quickly. Just as importantly, the governor also mentioned that he plans to fill the 3 soon-to-be vacant seats on the State Board of Education in the next couple of weeks before the board's next meeting on July 9th. At the end of this month, there are 2 members of that board that are whose terms are expiring, and a third is stepping down early. Those positions sometimes sit empty for a time, but apparently Hutchinson is planning to make a move sooner rather than later to fill them. Next, Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal is announcing this afternoon that he is running for president. In the GOP primary, he will join Jeb Bush, Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, Marco Rubio, Mike Huckabee, Ben Carson, Carly Fiorina, Rick Santorum, George Pataki, Lindsey Graham, and Rick Perry, and also, of course, Donald Trump. Plus likely candidates Scott Walker, Chris Christie, and John Kasich, former governor of Ohio. That's a total of 16 declared and very likely candidates for the GOP nomination in June of 2015. In recent polling, by the way, Bobby Jindal has performed around dead last, typically taking about 1% of the vote. So, best of luck. Finally, today, the Kramer Lofts, a Little Rock landmark building on Sherman Street, will be back on the auction block this coming Monday. The Arkansas Development Finance Authority has foreclosed on its mortgage loan to the owners of the building, which was originally envisioned as providing low-cost housing for local artists. Now the Kramer Lofts building will be sold to the highest bidder for cash only at the Pulaski County Courthouse this coming Monday. Stop by, make a bid. That's it for me today. Max is coming back from vacation soon, so he should be back in the saddle tomorrow.